The Pokemon Day Legends ZA trailer left us with a lot of questions, like what's up with these Quasartico people, or why is a war criminal running a bed and breakfast? But the most important question plaguing people's minds is, are we getting Megas for the starters, or will they be regional forms like in Legends Arceus? So why don't we take a look at what both options could look like? Hey everyone, Brandon here. So we officially have our starter options for Legends ZA, which I am still boggled by the fact we got 2 Gen 2 starters, but hey, Pokemon is anything but predictable, I guess. Our first starter option is Meganium, which is a massive win for Chikorita fans like myself. Chikorita has been getting some special attention from the trailer, as it has Disarming Voice in its move pool, which it has never learned previously and is one of the only Fairy-type moves it has ever learned. So the prevailing theory is that whether it's a Mega or regional form, Meganium will be Grass Fairy, which makes sense given its design and overall vibe. I was honestly shocked it wasn't one of the Pokemon to gain the type back in Gen 6, so maybe this is Game Freak's way of correcting that. And let's correct you not liking this video or being subscribed by going and hitting those buttons down below right now, and leave a comment saying what you think we're getting and why while you're there. So let's start off with what I believe Meganium's regional form could look like. So here is Colossian Meganium, which I worked with Foongoos to create. I also worked with them on the rest of the forms in this video, so make sure to check out their link in the description. Meganium's category has shifted from the herb Pokemon to the flower Pokemon, as the flower has become even more focal to the design, and obviously is the Grass Fairy type as I said it might be before. Rather than a Geranium, Daylily, or Titan Arum, Colossian Meganium is inspired by irises, the national flower of France and the inspiration behind the Fleur de Lis, which acts as a reference to Serperior, which many thought would be the grass option given its French inspiration. The shape of the flower is that of a cloak or cape, which is inspired by Morgan Le Fay, an enchantress from the legend of King Arthur. With her name in French meaning Morgan the Fairy, this made for a perfect thing to reference for this Meganium. Morgan is often seen as a benevolent goddess, fae, or witch across many Arthurian tales, which works well for both the grass and fairy types, evoking the gifts of nature and the benevolence of some fairies in European folklore. Colossian Meganium is most definitely benevolent as well, blessing Pokemon with its powder from its soft petals that give good luck, and when applied to crops bring about a very successful harvest season. I imagine Colossian Meganium would have moves or abilities centered around magic, such as Magical Leaf, Magic Powder, Magician, Magic Guard, or Magic Bounce. Now for what Meganium's Mega evolution could look like. When given Meganiumite, Meganium Mega evolves into Mega Meganium. So go back and for each time I say Mega in that last sentence, take a shot of water, because obviously I want you hydrated and not sent to the hospital. I would most definitely give Mega Meganium the ability Flower Veil, as it is basically an upgraded version of Leaf Guard, and because flowers become an even bigger part of its design upon Mega evolving. Defense and special defense are Meganium's main stats, so its Mega evolution would buff those while giving a minor boost to its attack and special attack. Grass Fairy is a pretty defensive type combo, having 6 resistances and an immunity to Dragon, so putting focus on defense felt like the way to go for this Mega. So once again we have a nod to Serperior, as Mega Meganium's long antennae and soft eyes are inspired by the manga and anime The Rose of Versailles. It is also now a literal rose, as its petals have doubled to look like one, as well as having thorns all over its body. These thorns also work in reference to one of Meganium's possible inspirations, the Achenosaurus, which is actually a form of fossilized wood called Nicolia aegyptiaca, though it was originally thought to be a hadrosaur with dermal spines. These thorns are putting in overtime, as they also act as a reference to 2 French mythological creatures, the Peluda and the Tarasque, with the Peluda being a serpent-headed and serpent-tailed, ox-sized hairy beast with long green fur that had deadly stinging spikes hidden amongst it, and the Tarasque was a fusion of a lion, turtle, and snake with poisonous breath, which works well given Meganium can learn Poison Powder. There is also a dubious genus of Titanosaur discovered in France called the Hypsilosaurus, which means highest lizard in Latin, with Mega Meganium being the highest form of evolution possible for the line. The Hypsilosaurus was originally thought to be some form of crocodilian, which ties back into its Tarasque inspiration, as many think it was a case of early accounts of crocodilians. And speaking of hairy beasts, humans certainly are some as well. That's why I'm thankful for today's sponsor, Manscaped. You can't go wrong with Manscaped's latest release, the Chairman Pro Package. This all-in-one set includes everything you need for an absolutely perfect shave every single time. First, we have the eponymous Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver, which features a 360-degree contouring head, making it gentle around the neck area, and comes with 2 skin-safe blade heads. Then you've got the skin-safe 4-blade foil for a super close shave, and the skin-safe stubble trimmer, which are designed to help reduce razor burn and irritation, so you're always feeling smooth and comfortable whether you want to go for clean shaven or that 5 o'clock shadow look. And one of my absolute favorite parts of the Chairman Pro is that it's actually waterproof, so you can use it in the shower so you don't have a huge cleanup. On top of that, you get the Face Shave Soother. This aftershave serum hydrates your skin and soothes any post-shave irritation. That's not all though. You also get the Power Shave Gel in this package. This non-irritating lubricating formula is dye-free, cruelty-free, vegan, vegan, alcohol-free, and free from parabens and phthalates, is made specifically to work with the Chairman Pro, providing a smooth, comfortable shave that is great for your skin. So if you're looking for the perfect gift or just want to upgrade your grooming routine, the Chairman Pro package is exactly what you need. Use code PRAGMAGIC at checkout to get 20% off plus free shipping. That's 20% off plus free international shipping with promo code PRAGMAGIC at manscaped.com. Thanks so much to Manscaped for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. So now that we have the first example of Mega or regional form under our belt, I wanted to talk about what I think will actually happen. Given it is pretty clear that Legends ZA is set up to be a sequel to X and Y, with AZ being reunited with his Floette, which we saw in a post-credit scene after beating Kalos' Elite Four, I think it is most likely for us to get Mega evolutions to these Pokemon rather than regional forms. These Pokemon were all able to be had in Kalos, yet they didn't evolve differently. So I think the possibility of new Mega Stones being discovered after the events of X and Y feels much more likely than an entire new species of these Pokemon suddenly developing in the years since. But once again, let me know what your opinion is and why in the comments below. With that said, let's move on to Colossian Emboar, the Earthen Pig Pokemon. This Emboar fulfills what many fans have wanted since before Black and White released, and makes Emboar a Fire Ground type. This obviously means that Pignite would probably also have to change, which is another point towards Megas being the more likely option, but I digress. Degrassi? Say Drake, I hear you like him young goose. Anyway, Colossian Emboar carries on its original ceramics inspiration, but instead of Greek or Chinese pottery, it is a reference to Louis XIV inspired ceramics, being more florally decorated and having a lighter coloration. It is also inspired by Louis XIV himself, who, just like Emboar's original inspiration Zhang Fei, is known for his decapitation by his own people. You can see the Louis-inspired hair of this form still covers its neck, leaving its head floating to reference this. The Gascon pig is part of its design as well, a rare breed of furry pig found only in the remote mountainous regions of the Pyrenees. It is tolerant of hot climates too, which works perfectly for its fire ground typing. Colossian Emboar will use its mighty hooves to build homes of clay in the mountainous areas of Kalos, using its fire to bake it and warm the home once it's finished. Many Pokemon will seek shelter in these homes during the winter months. And you would warm my heart if you became a member. Membership to this channel helps me support the artists I work with and keep this channel going, so I would greatly appreciate you becoming one on any level. Speaking of levels, let's make Emboar reach its final level by giving it the Emboarite, Mega evolving it into Mega Emboar. It's now the Mega Fire Pig Pokemon. Obviously, we kept the firefighting type combo for this Mega, because in combination with Meganium's Fairy type, it makes for some great potential type triangles. The body shape of this Pokemon has changed quite a bit, while maintaining some of its core design elements. The top of its head is no longer visible, just the face, making it look almost completely headless, further alluding to Zhang Fei like we mentioned earlier. Its fire is also shaped to look like a volcanic eruption, not only referring to the explosive power of this Mega Pokemon, but to Typhlosion, the only missing Gen 2 member in this ZA starter trio. Mega Emboar has some truly destructive potential, said to channel the power of Yveltal within its flames. But at the same time, the flames it creates can help usher in new life, channeling the power of Xerneas. These chain-like patterns on its wrist are a sort of binding to keep the destructive power from unleashing fully, while maintaining its Greek and Chinese pottery inspiration and even furthering the Greek part. The chains refer to two of the Titans. Perseus, a titan of destruction who is the father of Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft, making this design also refer to Delphox, the actual Kalos starter, and Prometheus, the titan who first stole fire from Olympus, gifting it to humans and subsequently being chained eternally for it. Prometheus is also associated with the creation of humanity in some myths, so within this Mega is the potential for creation and destruction, life and death, just like the X and Y legends. Its fiery fur also refers to two French mythological beings. First is the Gentiles, hairy giants that were said to live alongside the Basque people in the ancient past, mysteriously disappearing underneath the mountains. With Mega Emboar's fire being like a volcano, which are at the top of mountains, it is technically underneath a mountain itself. The second being is the Beast of Javauden, one or more beasts that had multiple attacks cited. These attacks were said to have been committed by beasts of a tawny russet color with dark streaks and stripes, and a dark stripe down its back. Well, that sure sounds like Mega Emboar with its brown skin and dark stripes along its chest, torso, arms, and legs. As far as an ability, its hidden ability Reckless definitely works, but we could also give it Sheer Force or even Anger Point. I honestly think a new ability that works like Anger Shell would work perfectly for this Pokemon, but it doesn't have a shell really, so it would need a new name like Hot Tempered or Anger Chain, something like that. Emboar's stats focus mainly on attack and special attack, so we would just buff the heck out of those. Last but not least, we have Feraligatr, which in this game becomes Colossian Feraligatr. I kind of made it so it could either be a really hardened looking fighting type or a steel type, but for the purposes of this video it will be steel, making this regional type trio just really dunk on grass. Colossian Feraligatr is now known as the Steel Trap Pokemon, which crocodilian jaws are said to be like, is a reference to its typing, and trap is a synonym for mouth, so it's a triple entendre of a category. This Pokemon is renowned for its incredibly hardened scales, being the optimal Pokemon for defensive combat. These scales and its general appearance refer to French medieval knights' armor, specifically that during the time of King John, where there was a mix of leather and steel, just like the leathery hide of crocodilians. Its face shape combined with its underbite are made to look like a knight's helm, and the spikes are more curved to reflect a French falchion. This form was just made to be Wickstrom's partner, though that was a serendipitous accident, because I forgot that character existed when conceptualizing this Feraligatr. So with all the regional forms done, now comes the time where I explain the group theme. These three are based on the people or royalty of France. Feraligatr referring to King John, Emboar referring to King Louis XIV, and Meganium referring to Morgan Le Fay, who is sister to King Arthur in many tales, making her a form of royalty. Though admittedly not directly royalty of France, her role in Arthurian tales was greatly expanded in French prose of the Lancelot Grail cycle. Now we move on to our final Mega Evolution. So when given the Feraligatrite, Feraligatr Mega evolves into Mega Feraligatr. This edgy gator is now the Water Dark type, making it the one that gets dunked on in the Mega secondary type trio. Its dark typing refers to crocs and gators being predators that typically sneak up on their prey to attack, but also is a reference to Eleanor, the Nile crocodile that was found in the sewers near the Seine River of Paris in 1984. She lived to be about 38, sadly passing away in 2021. This doubly acts as a reference to the sewer alligators that have been found living in the New York City sewer system, making this yet another reference to Unova given Tepig's presence. Mega Feraligatr mysteriously have been observed in the wilds of Kalos and even within its sewer system, waiting to come out at night, when most prey would be asleep. This dex entry makes reference to mythological spirits or demons from Basque and Breton myth, the Gaueko and the Bugul-Naz respectively. They both share an affinity for not allowing humans to go out at night, punishing them for not fearing the darkness enough, with the Bugul-Naz's form of punishment being drowning, a method crocs and gators are familiar with using on prey. I decided to change its coloration slightly to 1, match its dark typing, and 2, making it a reference to the French flag, with the yellow cream color being changed to pure white. Its ability would most definitely be Strong Jaw, as this gator has an even bigger jaw than before, and would make Crunch stab and boosted by its ability, really giving it the strongest bite force of any crocodilian Pokemon. Feraligatr's main stats are attack and defense, so we would majorly boost those, as well as giving it a little boost in speed to reference its predatory nature. This group of Megas also has a theme, because I'm a sucker for a good theme. So these Megas are all based on the myths of France. Meganium is the Paluda and the Tarrasque, Emboar is the Beast of Javaudin, and Feraligatr is the Gaueko and Bugul-Naz as I just said. So what do you think we'll get? Regionals like these or Megas like these? Let me know. And thank you so much to our incredible members whose names you can see now for supporting this channel with their hard-earned money, which you can also do by hitting that join button. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.